it's Bunny, and welcome to today's video, and welcome to another WWE reaction. This video was recommended by Shane Weasley 5189, and he said, just to let you know, the hardcore title can be won anywhere and anyone can get it as long as they get the pin, and react to 12 wrestlers' deaths that WWE ignored. I did find the video, and it is by WrestleMania. It's a 2 years ago video. It was uploaded 2 years ago. If you want to check out the original video, you can head there, but if you are interested in my reaction, you can continue watching here. Also, if you like WWE and you like to see my reaction to it, make sure to subscribe for more and turn the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. I also do upload videos on my Patreon, patreon.com/supportbunny. These are videos that are usually copyrighted or blocked on YouTube, and I can only upload them there, or they are really long, so like full matches or stuff like that, you can check it out there. But yeah, let's go and watch this video, shall we?
Last night, yesterday afternoon, Brian Pillman was found dead.
Oh no.
Now, whenever a wrestler passes away...
Like, honestly, like, I have to start from the start of this video. I have to let you know that it is really sad that people die all the time, but it's really sad to know someone who is like, you're a fan of someone who is public and famous, and then they die, and it feels like you have lost a dear friend or a close family member, and it always hits you hard because you get attached to that person, you know, in some kind of way. So I'm sure that these 12 wrestlers' deaths were impacted by so many, and even if they were addressed by a company, the fans would want much, much more. But let's see if really WWE ignored these deaths or didn't give them the right tribute or what.
Competed in the WWE, they will pay tribute to them in some capacity.
Right,
if the wrestler who has passed away was an active member of the roster, it's likely they will receive their own dedicated tribute show, just like Eddie Guerrero did back in 2005 and Owen Hart in 1999.
Aww.
But if they're a wrestling legend and they've been retired and been off TV for a number of years, then it's likely they will incorporate a 10-bell salute with the entire roster on the top of the stage to pay their respects. However, there have been times where the WWE failed to acknowledge a wrestler's passing on television.
Not even
Why
a
they
bit?
failed to do this has left WWE fans puzzled and disappointed for years, as they feel that every wrestler who competed in the WWE should deserve at least some acknowledgement for their hard work, but which were ignored. Well, join us now as WrestleMania looks at 12 wrestler deaths shunned by WWE. Number 12, Dino Bravo. Dino Bravo had a WWE run between 1986 to 92, and although he never broke out into the top of the card, he was one of the strongest wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring. Now, Bravo's passing was one of the most bizarre to happen in the world of wrestling, as he was shot 17 times whilst watching a hockey game. Why did this happen?
Why?
Well, many believe it had something to do with his relation by marriage to Montreal mobster Vic Catroni. Now, due to the nature of his passing, WWE failed to acknowledge it.
Oh
Number
my
11,
God,
Ludwig
what? I wanna
Borger.
know more.
For those not familiar with Ludwig Borger, he had a brief run in the WWF during the New Generation era, and his biggest achievement was actually breaking the undefeated streak of Tatanka. However, after suffering an ankle injury in '94, Borger opted to quit wrestling and started a career in MMA. Unfortunately, in 2010, Borger took his own life. Now, there was no mention whatsoever by WWE of his passing, which was sad to see, as Borger had a difficult time after his WWE departure. Number 10, Jack Tunney. Jack Tunney was a pivotal part of the WWE programming between '84 and '95, as he would act as the on-screen president for the WWF and be the central authority figure on WWE television. Now, this was a time before the WWE fans knew that Vince McMahon was actually the chairman and was running the entire show. But Tunney was believable in his role, and to maintain this position for over a decade was quite an achievement. Tunney would later be released from the company, leaving on bad terms as he had fallen out with upper WWE management, including Vince McMahon. Sadly, in 2004, he passed away after suffering a heart attack at 69 years old. WWE would never acknowledge his passing. It was reported that no personnel attended his funeral.
No
Number 9,
way! That is so mean, you guys. It doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't matter what you went through with that person. You still have to accept and acknowledge the fact that they were a part of a company. They worked for that company. They have people they know. The fact that there was no one attending is as if like Somebody told them, if you dare and attend, you will get fired. That is so mean. Like, how much can you hate someone that you would rather not give them any tribute for anything they have done ever and ruin their whole image and hate them even after they're dead? What have he done to deserve that?
Chris Kanyon had a moderately successful WCW run, but fans felt he had a lot more potential as his charisma was certainly there, and when WWE purchased WCW in 2001, fans felt that Kanyon might finally get a chance to shine.
Okay.
But sadly, it wasn't to be. Kanyon was barely used as a mixture of injuries and no concrete plans for the former US champion led to his release in 2004. In 2010, though, sadly, Kanyon would take his own life and pass away at the age of 40. WWE failed to mention Kanyon's passing on television, and the best they did was to release a brief statement on WWE.com.
Do you think they are not allowed to do that on screen for some rules if somebody actually does take their life away? I feel like it's not that they failed to do it. I feel like they were not allowed to do it because they are not allowed to mention, but they would not even mention, I don't know.
Number 8. Crash Holly. Crash Holly was one of the most entertaining wrestlers of the Attitude Era. His run in the hardcore division was some of the best comedic segments they have ever produced, and Holly actually won the hardcore
celebrate
title
their life,
22 times. Unfortunately, after the Attitude Era ended and WWE abolished the title, Holly didn't really have any concrete plans in the company, which would ultimately lead to his release in summer of 2003. Holly would then unfortunately pass away in November of that same year, as he had suffered an overdose at the house of his good friend Stevie Richards. He was only 32 years old. WWE would never...
That is so sad. It is so sad when they are so young, full of talent, full of potential, and they go and rely on drugs. It is so sad to see something like this.
Acknowledge Holly's passing.
However,
in 2005, he was included in a tribute video at the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view, which was at least some sign of respect and condolence. However, he deserved much more.
Yeah.
Number 7. Viscera. WWE's lack of acknowledgement for Viscera's passing actually led to a lot of backlash online. Now, Viscera had a lengthy run in the WWE as he portrayed a character named Mabel in the mid-90s before it was repackaged as Viscera and would be a key part of The Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness stable. Towards the end of the Ruthless Aggression era, he would once again be repackaged, but this time he would be known as Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Viscera would pass away in 2014 from a heart attack, which left a lot of fans and fellow wrestlers deeply saddened. WWE failed to acknowledge his passing on Raw, which left a lot of fans very disappointed. However, they would finally release a brief tribute the following week, and fans weren't sure if this was released due to fan pressure or WWE actually already had the particular tribute planned.
Maybe it took them some time to release the tribute or something, but it is kinda late. But also, maybe not. Maybe they just needed time for the facts, and you know how it is, bureaucracy and paperology and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know things, but at least they managed to give him a tribute. Better late than never, right?
Cade. Lance Cade had all the tools to be a top star in the WWE. Following a successful tag team run alongside Trevor Murdoch, Cade would form an alliance with Chris Jericho. This alliance would be a central part of the legendary feud in 2008 between Jericho and Shawn Michaels, and fans believed that they were planning on making Cade their next big star.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
really?
this wasn't to be, as Cade would be released the same year after he had a seizure on a plane, thanks in part to his abuse of pills. Just 2 years later, he would pass away from an overdose at just 29 years old. WWE failed to mention Cade's passing, as it appeared to be an unwritten rule at the time that if a wrestler passed away from a drug-related death, it would not be mentioned in any capacity in WWE programming.
Why?
Obviously, this move received a lot of pushback and criticism.
Do you think it's because people will go and like Google the person and then realize how they passed, and in a way it would make them more conscious about drugs, and in a way it's a drug promotion even though it's not? Like, why is it a hush topic? Why is it a hush thing? Why couldn't these people talk out loud and say that they do have a problem with this and they are trying to get rid of it or anything like that? I feel like these type of things, especially if you have that type of thought to take away your life, like you should be able to speak out loud and ask for help, or this should be a topic that people can say, yes, I do think about it, without it being connected to being a failure of a human. And I don't know, it is so sad to see that that they didn't get the help they needed.
A lot of fans, and it took WWE a number of years to see how unmoral this was.
Yeah.
Number 5, Hercules. Now, Hercules was most well known in the 80s for having matches with the likes of Hulk Hogan and Ted DiBiase before he formed a memorable tag team with Paul Roma known as Power and Glory. Hercules would eventually retire in 1999 as he wanted to spend more time with his family. Unfortunately, 6 years after his retirement, he would pass away at his home with heart disease being the official cause. WWE failed to acknowledge his passing, and he's never been mentioned on TV since his time with the company.
Family.
Number 4, Test. Test without a doubt should have been a huge star in WWE. Debuting in '98, Test would eventually join Vince McMahon's Corporation stable before he would begin an on-air romantic storyline with Stephanie McMahon. Over the next few years, he would have a decent run in the mid-card and would even win the Intercontinental title, but sadly, he would never ascend to the top of the card. In 2009, 4 days before his 34th birthday, Test would pass away from an accidental overdose. It would later be revealed by Dr. Bennett Amalu that Test suffered from CTE, and he revealed that the CTE seriously impacted Test's behavior and mental state. WWE would never mention his passing, a move that left fans extremely disappointed. Test was a key part of the Attitude Era, and fans had fond memories of his work, so to not see him get a tribute he deserved was seen as distasteful.
It's like, let's just ignore and pass on and not even mention it. That's so mean. It is so hypocritical. That's how it feels like.
Sha OHare.
Sha OHare
was a big part in the final few months of WCW programming. OHare made up one half of the Natural Born Thrillers tag team alongside Chuck Palumbo, and fans believed that the two were going to be the future of WCW. However, when the purchase happened in 2001, his future was up in the air. The duo would join WWE and make their debuts in summer 2001, but it wasn't long before OHare was sent to OVW for more development. Fast forward to 2003, and they planned on having OHare debut on the SmackDown brand with a brand new Devil's Advocate gimmick, and he would even have the legendary Roddy Piper by his side. Although the gimmick had a lot of potential, and though it was clear that OHare had improved his ring skills, he would be released the following year. OHare would battle depression and alcoholism in the years to come following his release, and he would take his life in 2014, passing away at just the age of 43.
Guys, like, you are 43 years old. You can create your own career. You already have a name out there. You don't need a company. Go do your own thing. Don't rely on others to succeed. And if they fire you and if they don't believe in you, that doesn't mean it's the end for you. That doesn't mean that you're a failure. It's their failure to not see how big of a potential you can have when you try and you put all your energy and work into it. Like, if somebody ever fired me like that, good thing I don't work for a company, but if I did and somebody would fire me and they don't see my potential and stuff, it would like literally wake in me the need and necessity to show them how wrong they were. I'm that type of a person. I'm like, oh, wait for it, you will regret this. Oh, hell yeah.
Of OHare would never be mentioned on television, but they did, however, release a brief statement on WWE.com. Number 2, Doink the Clown, Matt Osborne. Matt Osborne was well known for portraying the original Doink the Clown. The original Doink was a villainous, borderline evil clown who often played tricks on his opponents.
Always evil. What do you mean?
In 1993, however, Osborne would be released from the WWE after he was fired for repeatedly smoking drugs in the hallway of the hotel that WWE talent was staying at. The Doink character would then be taken over by Ray Apollo, but Osborne would get a chance to reprise the role for the 15th anniversary of Raw in 2007 during a brief appearance. Unfortunately, in 2013, Osborne passed away due to an overdose. His family would shortly file a lawsuit against the WWE, who stated that the blows to Osborne's head throughout his WWE run ultimately contributed to his early passing. And number 1, Umaga.
Like, they know what they signed there.
In 2002, and will portray the character known as Jamal and would be a part of Eric Bischoff's 3-minute warning stable. The stable was short-lived, and he would later be repackaged as Umaga, a character he would find great success with. Umaga would go on to have memorable feuds with the likes of John Cena, Bobby Lashley. What the hell is this?
Oh my god. Ouch.
And Jeff Hardy. with some fans saying that he's one of the greatest superstars to never win the WWE title. But sadly, in 2009, Umaga would be released from his contract after failing WWE's wellness policy. Just a few months after his release, Umaga would pass away after a various mix of pills was found in his body. Umaga was just 36 years old. WWE would fail to acknowledge Umaga's passing on television. However, according to WWE legend Chris Jericho, Vince McMahon was extremely upset in relation to his passing. Jericho would state during an episode of Talk is Jericho that, "I remember how legit sad Vince was about it, because at the time I think they had let Umaga go because he wouldn't go to rehab, and I remember Vince really saying, like, I tried. I did not want this to happen. I couldn't do anything.
So
like,
sad.
if you're not going to do it on your own, there's nothing we can do."
We cannot
he was
help
like
them.
legit torn up about it, because I think Eki in McMahon's mind had so much more he could have done if he hadn't fallen into those traps that
so
happened to
sad.
so many of the brothers over the years.
Exactly, so many. I cannot believe how many stories I'm hearing here about people dying the same way. This is so sad. And the thing is that, of course, the company has to let you go if you refuse to go to rehab and refuse to get help. What can they do? It's their whole business, it's their whole name behind you, and they cannot represent you looking like that. You have to get help, and if you don't want to get help, they cannot pick you. They literally can't make you get help, and this is so sad. Like, it really hits you hard when you know that someone dies and you can't help them because they didn't want to help themselves. Oh my god, I need to record more videos and I need my makeup. Thank you. Can you tears go away, evaporate away? Oh, it's actually the end of the video. Adolfo Bresciano, Dino Bravo, Ludwig Borga, Jack Tunney Jr., Christopher Canyon, Kluksaritz, Michael Lockwood, Crash Holly, Nelson Viscera, Fraser Jr., Lance Cade, McNaught, Raymond Hercules Fernandez, Andrew Test Martin, Sha OHare, Matt Doink Osborne, and Edward Umaga. Rest in peace, every single one of you. You deserved better. I wished you actually got some help that you needed, and I hope that even if the tribute was not there from WWE or your professional life, that your personal life did celebrate your life and was saddened by your loss. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I usually say I hope you enjoyed this video, but like it's hard to say that when death is involved, you know, even though we all die and we should celebrate our life and just look at the achievement we did accomplish during our life, and that is just a normal thing, and we need to understand that it is just a part of everyone's life. Like, it's not something that some people will skip, you know, we all have to face it. So the best thing we can do is just live our life to the fullest. But thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next video. Also, please leave a like to this video, even though you might not have liked the content itself, but if you liked me and you want to support my career, then make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. And even there is one trick that I realized on YouTube. If you go to share and you copy the link, even if you don't post it anywhere, it counts as if you are sharing the video somewhere, and the more shares I get, the more engagement I get, and the better it is for my channel. So click on that share if you want to go the extra mile, and just copy that link that it gives you, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Bye! Cheers!